What's the most you can carry? 20 kilos? Maybe 30? If you're really fit, we could push that number up to around 50 or 60. But given the size of the human body, those numbers aren't remarkable. But an insect? That's a whole different story. Ants are some of the smallest creatures on our planet, yet they carry more weight than any other insect. Their ability to do that has encouraged engineers to study the animal and find a way to copy the ant's body mechanism to build robots in the future. Excited to know more? Then keep on watching. Welcome to another episode. Today, we're going to take a look at the weight a million ants can carry and how other animals, small and large, compare to them. If you like cartoons, you've likely seen clips of ants making off with entire picnic baskets of food. That representation is not entirely accurate. Have you at any point been outside and seen a lot of tiny insects rapidly running on the ground? Even though these insects are small, they sure are solid. Examiners said that the neck joint of a typical field insect can withstand multiple times the ant's weight. We usually see pictures of ants on the web carrying dead birds, so we assume they could lift 1,000 times their weight. Yet, the new numbers shocked even the specialists. According to new research, they can carry 5,000 times more than their weight. A researcher named Carlos Castro, an assistant professor of mechanical and aerospace engineering at The Ohio State University, opted for a different approach than usual researchers were doing. This may be difficult to hear for some viewers. In the study, the ants were anesthetized and then stretched apart, so researchers could get a better look at what's going on inside their bodies. They studied the Allegheny mound ants like they were taking apart a car and examining every component within it. The team picked this specific species since it is not rare in the eastern United States and easily acquired from the insectary. The engineers imaged ants with electron microscopy and X-rayed them with miniature process tomography machines. Next, they set the ants in a fridge to anesthetize them. Then they stuck it face down in an uncommonly planned rotator to quantify the power to twist the neck and ultimately break the head from the body. Before we can dive into their findings, we need to understand how the machine worked. The rotator dealt with a similar guideline as a typical thrill ride called the rotor. In the rotor, a round room turns until radiating power pins individuals to the divider and the floor exits. So, on account of the ants, their heads were stuck set up on the floor of the rotator, so exceptionally that as it turned, the ants' bodies would be pulled outward until their necks burst. It was terrible, but sadly the only way to learn about their unique abilities. The rotator gradually turned up its speed, and each step up applied all the more external pressure on the ant. As the power increased to 1,000 times more than the ant's body weight, the neck joint started to extend and the body stretched out. The ant's neck only burst at powers of 3,000 to 405,000 times their normal body weight. So this test proves how an ant can carry 5,000 times more weight than its actual size. And if one ant can lift all that weight, well, millions of ants altogether might be able to carry a human body. Shocking, right? But it's actually pretty normal for smaller animals to carry more weight in the animal kingdom. Some other similar creatures that have this ability include dung beetles. The dung beetle, also called Onthophagus taurus, was, as of late, named the world's most sturdy bug by researchers. How solid is it? You may be amazed by the answer. The most sturdy dung beetle can pull weight up to multiple times its own body weight. That resembles a person lifting more than 180,000 pounds. And you thought you had a good session at the gym today. Other than dung beetles, eagles are known for their ability to carry large animals from one place to another. We've even seen clips of eagles carrying a deer to their nest. There are false numbers of the weight an eagle can hold during flight. Analyses show that without wind to help them, even the biggest eagles can take off with more than 5 or 6 pounds in their claws. But eagles flying into the breeze and taking prey from the ground can sometimes lift heavier creatures. They're incredible, but don't get too close. There are other animals that aren't as surprising for their ability to carry loads. What's surprising is they were never meant to take all that weight. Their enormous sizes have to do with survival. Throughout the long term, camels have regularly been used as entertainment for tourists because people can ride them and explore the places they are visiting from a high vantage point. A great deal of vacation destination organizations set riding weight boundaries for their camels. Ordinarily, it's around 120 kilograms. Camels all have specific weight limits. For example, dromedary camels can just convey about 100 kilograms of weight, while Bactrian camels can convey up to 200 kilograms. The wild Bactrian camel can carry 400 kilograms, substantially more than most livestock animals, while a pony can just about carry 20% of its weight. And finally, the elephant. For more than 4,000 years, we've used elephants for chores and entertainment, for which they really aren't equipped. In the 16th and 17th centuries, old Asian rulers used elephants like present-day tanks, raging them into a fight at around 30 kilometers an hour, stomping down on adversary troops. In India and Sri Lanka, extraordinary weapons and reinforcements were made for the fight to kill elephants. Iron chains with substantial steel balls toward the end were attached to the trunks of war elephants, who were then prepared to twirl them menacingly and with extraordinary ability. Off the combat zone, elephants were used to ship weighty merchandise like weapons and building materials. Rulers even used these creatures when on the chase, which is completely contradictory to an elephant's usual gentle nature. Elephants have sharp, hard inflammations that stretch out from the spine in an upwards course. These hard distensions and the tissue that secures them are powerless against heavy weights put over them. So, when we sit on their backs or mount carriages onto them, these put pressure on these spiked features, which feel like needles cutting their skin from within. This causes long-term harm to the animal, and when they can no longer be used, they are simply deserted. So, just because they're big and strong doesn't mean they were meant to carry heavy things. Nature is definitely odd, but beautifully complex. So there you have it. Which of all these animals is your favorite? Did you ever think an ant could carry all that weight? Tell us in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon. Thanks for watching.